na what we momoti yes publication bi by say attorney general say cathedral na asembia ni hu akire no omo se nya sa na omo kan ye ene nsem bebre e nokre ni edi kan ye nyina ye nim say the Lord for audit National Cathedral books no ebesi nne no propaganda basintele ye otimi ko fa pay slip ye fake e de kwatena G1 TV 2024 all because of power e tro de obetema di anya power na mama kira asem integrity aso hia pa me amate se wonti apoba ye bosomi nie ba bia wo bia no onyankopon kan ho no nsa oyade the fact say wo ye ndc ni na me ya pepini no wo yare e be ye me deda bi enyem de nti ba bia wo UK bia wo sa ho yade no ba bia wo UK bia wo sa ho yade no be ye bosomi nie no woni office sansa hodin ni wafa eye YECO Malik Basintele be bosumi nie no ohumfa nti wo yuka wo di ayaresa onyankopon kan ho no mo ho ban non saw yade na sambra fie be ye wadwuma as the youngest chief executive officer na mom propaganda yetimi kofa pay slip at that time say editro egu asofo so ewo kroma all because we want power ye ditro BS say edie ni nyina no say ye power the Lord for ababe audit books ni nyina afede nsema NDC for kan ye no kwan ben so no mo kan o masem afa sai na ye ka kire Ghana for enei Ministry of Local Government and Religious Affairs say National Cathedral no wombeye na yade a ebeboa oman Ghana nti wombeto aso ehimfo a womudi na nado danko akofo ado atem eka se cathedral no ho hia no ebra Ahmed Ibrahim ebeka se National Cathedral beto aso no sanyemfo no mente se o maba bonten abeka satia President Mahama ene local government minister barakofo ado de sanyemfo no timba bonten bedidi na tem se National Cathedral ho hia enei ye bisa sanyemfo no mudidi na nado atem se National Cathedral ho hia no ene NDC say ho hia nti ombeto aso ene de hia na enti sa ke kansa ansem no nyina wie na so obi kaseti awa en kantra obi sa oti akonwa so na obi akaseti awo eye wo na ama wo na wa ma ho kwan e na obi ayeden e kaseti awo because enura otimi nya akukuduro sa wo ye ohene e kasa didi akofo ado atem obetima wo because of National Cathedral and now party buy no o party send na fe the National Cathedral project no a project papa because Africa yeah no they are getting money from the cathedral every Sunday every week biasika omunya free a cathedral kese e wo Africa no enya asemkuma nti ndisi fo ahun say ya de papa na omutimi wia ebeboa oman no ama oman no Kristo somso ayeden atumpom yenya yenuanom nkramofo ama omukura ba be supporto ama the national chief imam even made a donation to the cathedral say National Cathedral no omunsi ni de Ghana Christopher momwa na nado ni MPP abai no omunsi na ya de papa NDC ye politics propaganda enya hemfo binum a omufisi omo ye NDC fo ebedidi akofo ado atem a obetima wo omo kaseti ano and now omo party buy no omo party ni say project ni ye papa nti omo be continue sayemfo no ye nti omo nka omo akwakoda all because omo time MPP and let the national cathedral and this is on bet was one and him for now more na mo sorry ya mo kaseti ananado dan kwa akofo and na mo akwakoda because we party so bet was so and on the won condemn won ka se mabunu nya adwuma nya ne yesi cathedral and the won ka ho asem propaganda na mo ye se nkrofo disikane and the ade o cathedral ne ho no and na Ghana for twen and only ni ho because I kofa delayed report na why na wo prosecute no if everything omo ye procurement designing other payment omo ye no was within the law and the financial regulations in the country why na wo prosecute no nti sa propaganda no atonsuom now and this nibi sorry ye e de asem na court ni enti a week we no na cathedral ho nsem ba ye se attorney general say ai o makrek no forata na cathedral ho ni asem bia no eye NDC ni lawyer bi ye frɛ no Jonathan Amabo ono na di attorney general court na ensem bebre na obisa se Supreme Court no enye ho adwuma assembly ni say ebra COVID-19 baaye no na ni kwan se na nado aban kura yi sika se ode tonuane e de amankrofo o mu shefia lockdown no aka mo and this ni lawyer e wo Supreme Court and asema all canon no se sika na nado aban ni MPP yiye ebra lockdown no baaye no enuane a omu sika omu yidi free Ghana fotuom editor nuane chama Ghana fo nyina no etia oman ne mra na ni kwante ka akofo ado yi Ghana sika editor nuane edi mankrofo a ebra lockdown no baaye and this ni lawyer ya gina Supreme Court eye Jonathan Amabo and Attorney General suit number J1/5/2024 of filing case no 2nd February 2024 Jonathan Amabo and Attorney General and this ni or say ebiem na ni kwan se COVID-19 baaye no atichafo omutifie kura no over a year no na ni kwan se ka finance minister eyi sika free oman no fotuom editua sankrofo ne ka na sika finance minister kenoforata yiye ema ye de fight COVID no etia oman no financial regulation and the Supreme Court on declare say sika nanado aban ni kenoforata de kuntia COVID emergency hospital say ye see ye e wo ga isi ha ebetimi ama yetima ye proper test yetima diagnose various kind of diseases ya or minor ebebam no emergency ye nyina no or the court to say sasika no nyina ye de ye nose mask ahodo aban ne cheche ye sanitizer aban ne cheche ye nyina no or the court to say sasika ye yifro man fotuom e de ye sa de ne nyina no ye illegal nti Supreme Court mongu na kenoforata ho mra asem ni otande kan asem na de ko Supreme Court ne say eno na cathedral na ho asem beba me be kan atira manfo eniema mako and near mako do mienu. And all bisa Supreme Court to say Supreme Court no enye mano. Ebina madi kanabo boss wono. Nose mask ahodo aban ne chiche ye. Sanitizers ya chiche ye. Emergency hospital beds ya chiche ye. Any ade hospitals ya ye say ye be ye expansion. How are you fighting COVID-19? Emma World Health Organization be bo o man Ghana baswo say we are singing Ghana under His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ne ba omi aban e na timako COVID-19 no ombo ya baswo no and this ni lawyer ni Jonathan Amabro akoko to say sika ye de kun COVID ni nyina no court mongu because etia o man no mra Supreme Court mongu na kenofurata ho nyeden emra asem yate owie ya no de National Cathedral ne kan ho e kanema obisa no enti ni last asembisa etwato e wona sema ode ko Supreme Court e 2nd February 2024 ne last asembisa e mienu a ode ko Supreme Court no na fa National Cathedral ho na ma redi e de akere amamfo me wia me de beto screen ne so e ma obi aso ye de ahu some for relief J na or say a declaration that the financing of the construction of the National Cathedral from the consolidated fund as a contingency vote matter without the prior approval of the Speaker of Parliament and the chairperson of the Council of State was contrary to and contravenes Article 179 cross 11 of the 1992 Constitution. Nature say, ni ochra ne say, National Cathedral na ye tum say yesin. Next second Parliament. Na enya approval from the Speaker and the Chairman of the Council of State. Na anko Parliament ama anya approval from the Speaker ho nti etia omano Article 179 cross 11 of the 1992 Constitution. Relief K no or say a consequential order for the return of all monies which were unconstitutionally withdrawn from the consolidated fund to finance the construction of the National Cathedral. No. Or say, a consequential order for the return of all monies which were unconstitutionally withdrawn from the consolidated fund to finance the construction of the National Cathedral. And just say, Sikabia! Yedi wura National Cathedral no muno. And this lawyer, your friend Jonathan Amabel say, a unconstitutional. Enti, wamun return sika ni nyina. Nyamencha de 2024 abano. MPP anwene. Ana party a year propaganda anytime me kan nyamencha de no. Party a year propaganda no. Omo na aba. Nti womo na say womo koyi amanso ya eda Supreme Court ye no. Nti Attorney General tisisu CIE 2025 womo respondu to Jonathan Amabo versus Attorney General case no the Supreme Court to say sika bia ye dia wura National Cathedral bia no eye unconstitutional nti Supreme Court declare na sika ni nyina ansa ne mra government of Ghana ho sika bia ye de fight COVID no eye unconstitutional nti Supreme Court declare na sika ne ansa ne mra back na Attorney General ya otesu CIE Yewura Dominic anyine na hweye e de anu yie akwa and this lawyer now owo Supreme Court to say near di kind. So uncle say National Cathedral Hunsem any COVID-19 Hunsem and co parliament ya no boa. Na numre no, I will concentrate on the National Cathedral. Na next week no, the same document no, my year COVID-19 no. And the current Attorney General I respond to case in our Supreme Court no. Na nasema all can say opanyina wako Supreme Court to say National Cathedral no anya parliamentary approval from the speaker hono enti sika bia awura mu bia yem return no. The Attorney General office say panyini boa na nasema all can no enye nokore. Womo the evidence ni exhibit akesia kwa to Supreme Court to actually say former finance minister Honorable Kenofurata sought for a parliamentary approval of the National Cathedral construction or project. And Tinipana Semno General Supreme Court Oka say, I National Cathedral na parliamentary approval no. Attorney General yo was sisi ase no krobia nim. Na National Cathedral won sem no e fa parliament e ma nya parliamentary approval. Na yentie ne Attorney General eka. Page 16 of the Attorney General statement. Producer Fatosu page 16 of the Attorney General statement. For page 16 it so me read here free here. Or say financing of the construction of the National Cathedral. Page 16, Attorney General response. Regarding the relief J and K of the plaintiff's rate, with reference to the financing of the National Cathedral, the then Minister for Finance statement in his budget since 2018 sum up the situation. In the 2018 budget statement, the then minister stated, Mr. Speaker, the interdenominational National Cathedral that will be located in the heart of the capital stand to help unify the Christian community as a place of worship and promote the national conversation on the role of faith in building Ghana. With the participation of various churches in the administration of the cathedral, collective ownership of the project by the churches is envisioned. The board of trustees and the secretariat have been established, and preparatory works for the construction of the cathedral have begun. Procurement process to select a contractor are expected to conclude by the end of the year, and construction is expected to begin in March 2020. Nature say, BBBF Cathedral ne hono, Abrantia ne tra o di Supreme Court hono. The current Attorney General say, enye nokre da se Kenofurata amfa Cathedral honsem anko Parliament. Nti wababe expose Abrantia no General Supreme Court to say, National Cathedral project ne unconstitutional. And the Supreme Court on share Neskabia ye dia uramu bia ne yensa ne famra no Attorney General New Year or the koye da ye file this document e was Supreme Court no e 2025 year 2025 e 9th July 2025 and no file this document enti anu year omo de akono no. Or say it continues. Or say the National Cathedral is 100% owned by the state. Indeed, the Attorney General issued an opinion on 6th November where Honorable Dominicanine ne kasayo na odi adanse say cathedral process ni nyina no efa parliament, meaning say Honorable Kenofurata followed due process so far that the cathedral project is concerned. Where Attorney General statement here, omo file wo Supreme Court 9th July 2025. Yentie. Or say in the paragraph 55, in the subsequent budget, the Minister for Finance updated Parliament on the status of the National Cathedral. In the year 2019, the Minister of Finance at Section 6 and at the concluding part of his budget statement stated as follows: meeting the spiritual needs of our people with the promotion of the Ghana National Cathedral. Paragraph 56. In the year 2020, on the issue of the National Cathedral in his budget statement, the Minister of Finance stated as follows. Paragraph 384 of the 2020 budget. Paragraph 384 of the 2020 budget. Mr. Speaker, the interdenominational National Cathedral that will be located in the heart of the capital stand to help unify the Christian community as a place of worship and promote the national conversation on the role of faith in building Ghana. With the participation of various churches in the administration of the cathedral, collective ownership of the project by the churches is envisioned. Where 2020, and the current Attorney General refer say, Asemna Brantie no catch Supreme Court to say, Kenoforata amfa emra kwanso no. Attorney General said that be. So wo kase Kenoforata next so oko Parliament kwaji approval under Article 179 dia and ye na Kenoforata yes ha. O ye ne sa pepepe o di mraso. Attorney General na kase eye Honorable Dominic Anyini. Then paragraph 57. Also in the year 2021, on the issue of the National Cathedral in his budget statement, the Minister of Finance stated as follows. National Cathedral of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the National Cathedral of Ghana, which seeks to provide an interdenominational sacred space for the nation, remains a national priority. As the President argued in his first official announcement on 6 March 2017, introducing the project to the nation, the National Cathedral will address a missing link in the nation architecture by providing a sacred infrastructure in the for the nation. The cathedral's national character, as the President argued, will be defined by the nature of the event to be held there. Presidential inaugural services, national Thanksgiving services, state funerals, and a much needed credit for the nation. Mr. Speaker, despite delays caused by COVID-19 pandemic, work is on course to construct the iconic edifice in the heart of the nation capital, where 2021. Namuntie the concluding part, where dated 9th day of July 2025. Office of the Attorney General. Muntie paragraph 58. It can be concluded. It can be concluded for the above that the finances of the National Cathedral was approved by Parliament through the various budgets. In that regard, it is the defendant's submission that the consequential orders cannot stand. Producer for last paragraph on to so. Paragraph 20 and to so more. I say it can be concluded for the above that the finances of the National Cathedral was approved by Parliament through the various budgets. Finito. And Tinomomba Kwaswa propaganda, where official document filed at the Supreme Court office of the Attorney General, 9th July 2025. Yawi case close. Obi ankoda. Kwabra Adu Boahene. Asisire wo ha enyo. He na ma start kan bibi. Kwabra Adu Boahene case. And now under the current Attorney General. Si ehun say public servant bi kura ye corrupt wa. Attorney General no timi cover shede. Attorney General etimi shede public servant or ye corrupt. Na ye use that corrupt public servant no say the fact say ye hu say we corrupt no ye pese ye do obi tum enti bedia dance ye where a publication from Ghana Web, and I'm basing on the Ghana Web publication to make my argument. Me Ghana Web publication is so, and the publication bano. So far as the trial of the Republic or the trial of Kwabena Adu Boahene concerned, say in that particular case, the National Signal Bureau. Let's assume some kwati obia Kwabena Adu Boahene there some so a politician or kwaji post yate. But the director of finance ogusu wo sisiano mumisa EOCO mumisa deputy attorney general sram sai say oba na mochi no mokwachi no kwa ready ni fie no ye director of finance. Nanka modene ye suspect in the case of Kwabena Adu Boahene trial no director of finance no mochi no interrogation amone ne ye no obi oye public servant babasia afena over 44 years properties or sini properties yo no adan owo e won kran ha no e uncounted no nim ne dodo oso nim adan owo na e do so ama ne bro so say ontimi nkan. Attorney General was a statement we da EOCO I this statement edaho. But ye misa say obi over 44 years na ye fa na djuma na onya djuma to say Kwabena Adu Boahene oye na djuma papa bi or one into rare estate or one a fertilizer company. I hear the second largest producing fertilizer company in the country. No more export to fertilizer equal Africos. One more export to fertilizer diko Burkina. One more export to the fertilizer diko Kenya. One more export to the fertilizer diko Rwanda ni Uganda. Oh, bianim say aside na juma say public servant no or yen private work rare estate any other fertilizer company other aduma bebre. Abaya no before I ever found 1 year aduma do. EOCO any attorney general leading yamuko ready the director of finance National Signal Bureau ni fie honum no. Modene ba EOCO aso eye no. Mo bisa ajapade abaya no mo so wo nyina. The woman told them say or the lady told them say ajapade do wo bebre. Na or acquire some properties ebra o azumi ni position as a director of finance. Nti adan ne de ontimi nkan. Now EOCO and attorney general say ya childie all these revelations abaya ne di two dwa say what man massive wealth not die ontimi nkan no because of Kwabena Adu Boahene and ye did to the request of attorney general pre-bargaining no attorney general say Kwabena Adu Boahene agu omanimase enti ompel wombe prosecute no ombe obehu the end result. And for that matter no Ghana Web publication no So can story no nyina kokowia. Ni nyina kokowia say. The Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General and EOCO, connive with the Director of Finance. Wamo shading wamo cover say. And near you withdraw as a accused person. Near you sue as a prosecution witness. And yet Adu Boahene. Near to my chivu ye purpose per the Ghana web publication and in the one. Now, ye bisa say, EOCO mona mose mo fighting against crime, mona mo fighting against corruption. Mwakwa chief public servant. A public servant no a massive wealth. A bra was rooming office. Now what my clear statement to say? Adanya owo one can ha apartment babasia over 44 years. Director of Finance, National Signal Bureau. Over 44 years. Okachire EOCO. EOCO was said the say. Over fighting against corruption in the country no. Mokwachi na mama na ankasa lady no confess say. Eba properties dia. Apartment or war. Any adan or war on crying hano. Uncounted no. At the EOCO. Atima cover up this lady. Atima shade no. Because Adu Boahene ono so ye accused person no. Eduru babi na Attorney General pese omra pre-bargain. No mo withdraw case no say. Onye bone no ye pre-bargain. And I'm also sad they are mobile punishing. And in punishing him, no, the Director of Finance on one confess say, well, you saw a bicycle at the top at Danny Bebre one can chrome hano, EOCO, air covering up. Deputy Attorney General, said, no, until now, my mena on one catcher, EOCO need Deputy Attorney General say, what the bonino. Almost what the bonin crana. You be you soon what the dance yamai near Jao. Oh, sir. Na Japadia, my manager of mine is sick, acquire or so on to mean canino. My man him for 4 coaches at Japadiano. Is it say, Director of Finance, no? More ya cover up, more say, didn't know more ya, monana terms. No more the properties in Biafra. And now, question me be someone no. EOCO boss, any Deputy Attorney General, me be some say, more shaded the Director of Finance, our National Signal Bureau, properties or so war Ghana ha, uncounted no, more shaded no, now at the end of the day, properties no, what you be afar na, a question me be son. Because, someone shaded no, Munya cover up dear, a yet public servant. Or catch them or say, or do a man seeker acquire so many properties. Namo say, no, Namo ya cover up say, would ya nyari, or media dance and tia Kwabena Adu Boahene. Na mube jano manako. Na nyamia ompe boni. Ma meno ma 3 statement edi ma EOCO. Or na no asem different miensa. And the demand EOCO. Na EOCO bedi docket in the aqua Attorney General. And wasem no emum dear. Attorney General ni EOCO wun say. So what this sow? Mamena no asem or trila hold 1 me and some mienu dear. So what the court at the 2 docket so the court to rumor. Ebema Kwabena Adu Boahene. Wajare fita ase Yesu atade enti omotena ase no maamena no asama hohoro Kwabena Adu Boahene ho no ano asem mienu no Deputy Attorney General ni EOCO omo sa no asem no omamfa nto docket so eye ne ye ka no court dan mu witness statement no mienu de omamfa nto docket so omayi afirim. Because omo hun say that particular statement say they told docket so kwa enkurobono mu no ebema kwabena Adu Boahene ho adware fita a kire se onye bone enti deputy attorney general ene EOCO aye se yebeyi enu afiri mu ne de baako ebe implicate kwabena Adu Boahene de akọ maame no so betena adaka mu no enam se nyankopon nim se kwabena Adu Boahene enye bone namom eye otai persecution namom enye prosecution no mo ye no obatena adaka mu no ono a demeti in evidence say watwere na no asem mienu miensa watwere na no asem miensa ye hwe docket so abaako neko mienu na aka no wo he a deputy attorney general say eno no de ehia ye nti yamfa nka ho but you have no right under Article 19 of the 1992 Constitution, no. And more beyond Kroma say when we are talking about relevance, relevance will be selective. Anytime relevance of evidence, yes, selective will be a British Article 19 of the 1992 Constitution. Now me who said deputy Attorney General no akọ catcher akọ post on the page so say ni there eba disclosure and relevance here. There is a new position of the law. That position cannot alter Article 19 of the 1992 Constitution. And as accused person, no, Momo share yen evidence be wo ha. Yes, it's evidence we there. One back can say exculpatory. Exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory in the sense that woman who say a favor accused person no aya kwabena Adu Boahene. And it's evidence in there. Yen fa nwura court to danum. Then smart lawyer attaching no. So director of finance saw my statement I would want me and Sadia. And your court to show mo no mon famra. Yes, in this ruling, I will say, Judge Namnakwam, and the judge listened to the prayer of lawyer Tachia and granted the request. Say, any witness statement be a say exculpatory whatever mum produce with audio recordings. You confirm ya resa remoata and wasema director of finance kwatire witness statement no mienu na oyifiri mu se watete mu se waye ne de o onko famra including audio recordings because awo ye kwaso ye no ye interrogate wa ye recordo awo CID aso ye no ye interrogate wa ye recordo enti munkofa sa witness statement mienu na muyi free mu no ama me na nkasa na aka no wo evidence mu say otwere na no asema hodo miensa EOCO ni deputy attorney general e de baako na koye because mienu aka no omfi say favor kwabena Adu Boahene enti ye mfa nko court say mo mfa mra ebesi nne afi na mo kofa home plans case na mo die no and we are saying say it borders on security issues because national signal bureau honum no e security niama e na omo ye na se mo pese mo hu samandia babi aduru no esese fefi funu no nani nti na ye fefi no enti mo nkwafa statement na ma me ne twere ye amode asie no court se mo nkwafa mra I think judge ne nam na kwam because won't even yes selective said the article 19 ka say would you be court wa kwadu a wodi bo nipa no Bibi fa hu bia no asesa ma accused person ye de ehu. A deputy attorney general ntimi nka say Supreme Court asesa law no on relevance. Enti about relevance ya. Wo na wo prosecutor no ebetima ka say when they are relevant ya meme de court. Na mom evidence bi wo ho a meme de kwa ebe favor accused person nti me mfa nko nti accused person pa on request my court no grante. But I am telling you, the deputy attorney general say prosecutor selective on relevance of evidence here. It alters Article 19 of the 1992 Constitution, where your common sense and your law lecturers elementary in law. Evidence in a bar. Sa two statement in a bar. Yen sabekan wo fie ha. Ni ya baba mu. Ye di kan catch them. Se case na mu die no. Se nya patapa kwan so se mo ba kekere Adu Boahene. E de na boka to de na ko. Insawam dia Adu Boahene ye clean. Enu nti na besin nei. The deputy attorney general any EOCO. Etimi yi evidence sie ema prosecution witness ebete to say with evidence ni bi no attorney general deputy attorney general ni EOCO ma yi asie because remote ampese case na ono aye no ekoko ba so ma lusu a on beka se on na anye na dwuma yie but nyankopon so evidence na wodi sie no onyankopon huye ana onyamia pusi director of finance na Wakwa so many properties here. EOCO mo cover up mo shade no akwa ko free na numa ba ebra no wo witness box mo. All because mona mo be come asem in your own press conference. Adu Boahene acquired this, Adu Boahene did that, Adu Boahene did so, Adu Boahene ye say. Ekwa wi akire na enye nokre no. Mo pasa mo di dwan homa hye ne kon by force e de ne konsa wom. But that case we are moody no. I open the gate to say the constitution say about security issues wa. Yeah, can one say my careful no. Say the yes when there is a change of government. When there is a change of government, anything beyond national the current national security aye. Yeah, but can one say the back court. Yan say it borders on security. Anything be a national signal bureau, aye biano, yabeka wasem. And mota, mon sa director of finance no. Now when power changes here, young can see are you swearing you know, she will be the first person I ever fire. Because a ban sign and also acquire properties here, aye uncounted. Near Baba so na ye yusu ama wasesa wano because o catch say they will shield you, they will do a cover up ama properties no wafa na okotena fia wadidi hu. We are here enti threaten o mo threaten wo nyina no EOCO threaten wo attorney general threaten wo no ti ye de ubetum ye be ye o say ayi U10 no okotena adaka mu no. Evidence ever expose you because you are dealing with a smart lawyer in the person of Atatia. Na enye bibi ni yanka say yesi yenye cross examination. Nasram sai ni Atatia gina hwa. Ebe ubeda match the two mana ye. O match the two a enye ye. Eba legal issues wa. Sram sai entimin compete with Atatia. That is a fact. And Chroma lawyer for no Jodwana name say eba legal issues wa Sram sai entimin compete with Atatia. Ye riano no yamfa akwanya we so na yada yankari nyame ya adoma said ye si be ko no gidigidi next month no